Good morning and welcome to the Darkmom Consortium for June the 4th, 2021. I am Mom. June the 4th. You know, the day sounds familiar, like it's somebody's birthday or wedding anniversary, and for the life of me, I can't remember what. It must be something. Good morning, Lava 1701. How are you today? Or this morning, or this evening, or whatever it is. Let's see, what it is it looks like a whole lot of damage in Space Day. We got some Polaron, some Tetrion, and some kinetic damage. That said, I want to share a little bit of information that I got from Dante. I'm sure you know this, but Best Served Cold, as you know, is an AFKable TFO after the first wave. If you can get through the first wave all alone on Elite, you get over 300 marks for a tough battle and then 15 minutes of AFK. Because knowing is half the battle. So I was not aware of that. Oh, I love the Kabali ground missions. I know. The second act there is kind of grunty, but much as I like those little side missions once in a while, if I'm just trying to get through that second act, it's just like skirt around the outside, up to the beach, skirt around, and up into the mountains. It's not that bad. Kind of fun if you do it with a team. The problem with doing it with a team in the second act is it's entirely possible for you to royally screw it up, because there's a couple of sequences where you have to find 6 devices, something like that, 6 pieces of information, and if you're teaming with somebody, it doesn't always team correctly. Yeah, well, that's because Delta Quadrant sucks. I'm sorry, I didn't say that. Were you around when Delta Rising came out? Delta Rising came out, and we were all determined to play up to level 60 as fast as possible. And everybody in my team was doing Federation, but my best tune at that moment was KDF. It was Kethla. So I was determined to do it, and I do it by myself, and we had this game going on. Whoever got there first in the fleet was going to get some kind of a prize, that being level 60. Well, this wasn't your standard arc, because you couldn't get to 60 readily just by doing the missions. You had to go do XP someplace, and that's where Japori first became Japori, where it was the thing for doing a patrol. So I ditched work and stayed home for 3 days, a Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday, trying like crazy to get up to level 60. And it was just like, what the heck? Good morning, Mr. Dave. How are you today? I was not a happy camper with Delta Rising. Well, in retrospective, I wound up getting fired from that job, and it was actually a job I liked, and I liked the people, and financially and for a lot of other reasons, it was horrible. Had nothing to do with ditching work that day, but it did have to do with Star Trek. Because I was invited to have lunch with Patrick Stewart. And to do that, I was allowed to bring a friend with. So I called my best friend in Sydney, Australia, and said, hey, you want to have lunch with me and Patrick? And she's like, ha 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 ha, that's funny. And I said, no, I'm serious. She's like, yeah, just give me the date. I will be on the plane. I will meet you there. And so we coordinated for 18 months out from when this all happened to meet in Brooklyn and spend 3 weeks there doing a vacation, with the high point being that we were going to have lunch with him. And I put in for my vacation, and my boss said, no, you can't have that. And I said, you have never denied anybody a vacation ever. You can't deny me this one because you don't have a precedence. And he said, okay, you're going to have to work remotely then. Okay, that's fine. I can do that. And so I did, but I think he discovered that, hey, we can run the business without you. Long story short, about 6 months after that, I did get fired because, hey, they can run it on their own without me. Thing is, turns out they couldn't, which I found to be really funny. So I was everything that wasn't related to engineering. Bookkeeping, accountant, receptionist, HR. Oh, yeah, I did meet Patrick Stewart. I don't have my picture with me. But yeah, We had lunch with him, and then his friend gave us and my friend and Patrick's wife this 2-hour tour of the Metropolitan Museum of Art, focusing on the Van Gogh exhibit. And awesome to the extent that every now and then I have seen him at other things. And, I don't say, hey, I'm sure you don't remember me, because he doesn't. But his wife, who is lovely, would be like, you remember Kay? She runs the martial arts school in Chicago. I love Sunny. Okay, admittedly, having blue and purple hair is really somewhat distinctive, but I swear to God, if she actually remembers me, she is an angel. So yes, that's one of my many funny Patrick Stewart stories. And yeah, losing that job kind of sucked. But that's the way it goes once in a while. Right. Okay, we have Polaron damage. We have Tetrion damage. Do you think they will pop by STLV this year? No, I do not think they will pop by STLV this year. One, COVID is still a real risk, and let's be honest, he's an older person. And in theory, Picard should be in production, I'm thinking, by August. Yeah, I have a lot of cool Patrick Stewart stories. My friend swears that I managed to meet him wherever he's going, and he thinks it's really coincidental and funny. I have a friend who's an actor who's like, how the hell do you meet all these people? Because I meet a lot of them. And it's not luck, it's just my life's been really interesting. I should tell you my story about Admiral Nechayev someday. To the extent that I know where she lives, and she's like, yeah, why don't we hang out sometime? Networking, that's it, Mr. Dave. It's networking. Excuse me one sec. Yeah. It is fun. So yeah, someplace, I know it's at my desk. I don't think I've got it here, though. Someplace I have a picture of me and Patrick, my friend Catherine, and Sonny, and Michelle Cox-Whitmer, who was the art expert who did the tour. Okay, so I do have to tell you one other story. We're doing this art tour, and it's Michelle Cox-Whitmer is like a big cheese in the art world. Everybody knows him. And as we were walking around, half the people were just staring at Michelle because, he's like the big cheese. And they're like, ooh. And the other people are staring at Patrick Stewart. And finally, one guy behind me whispers, it's Captain Kirk. I thought Kate Mulgrew was coming to STLV. Am I incorrect in that? Did that change, or am I just out of my mind? Let's see. This is May 21st was the last big posting I see here. Headliners. Okay, that function isn't working. Cool. William Shatner, George Takei, Nichelle Nichols, Nequa Martin-Smith, Jerry Ryan, Kelsey Grammer, Rebecca Romaine, Doug Jones, Alexander Enberg, Alexander Siddig, Andrew Robinson, yay! Blah, 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 blah. I'm surprised, but I'm not seeing her here. I really thought she was going to be here. John Delancey's going to be there. Jonathan Del Arco's going to be there. Ooh. Okay. Sorry. I nerd out for just a moment. No, I am not seeing her. And you would have thought she'd been up in the top line there. Okay. No, I don't see him. So I don't think at this point, yes, Garrick's coming. Yes. So she may be like a lot of people and just waiting to see what goes on with COVID. So I'm in Indianapolis, and we go off restrictions on Monday. And we're the last part of Indiana to come off restrictions. So we have this really interesting, I'm in Indianapolis, but on the border of not being in the right county. So here I wear a mask, but some places here I don't have to wear a mask. And then I go on the other side of the road, and I don't have to wear a mask. I drive back home, my grocery store, full PPE hazmat suit, grocery store across the street, masks optional. I'm not worried. I have got my shots. Not going to tell you to get your shots. That's totally up to you and yours, but I got my shots. Because with what I do, it's stupid not to. So what shall we do then? It's all space damage. Polaron. It's definitely my Polaron tune. Yes, Mom blithers for 10 minutes in the morning. I suppose we could do a patrol. We could do a mission. But if we're going to go for damage, we better go do a patrol. Click patrols. And no, I'm not going to attempt to do the AFK one solo on Elite. That would be an interesting one, though. Let's do a little ninth roll. Okay, can I say something, Mr. Dave?
Looks like there was a fight.
Things I know them well. I have no clue what a blue or a red state is. I'm going to assume it's something to do with the political affiliations. Oh, hold on a second. Before we do anything, anyone see a small problem here? Nothing came over. That's interesting. Let's see if maybe we make that go away. Oh, now that's... Okay, there we go. That is weird. Alright, I'm going to put you down 1. What the heck? My trays 1, 2, and 3 aren't working? Oh, I see what's going on here. Hang on, let's go here. Let's take that out. Let's take out big personal tray 2, see if that makes life. Hey! Good morning, WC. I take it, Mr. Dave, you don't play a lot these days? So, WC, I took a brief hiatus, like 2 days from my data analysis class because I'm doing the intro segment to Power BI. This is my current thought on Power BI, and it's only because the presenter is awful. I wish the presenter were better. I'm finding I love certain topics when the presenter is on, and when it's a meh presenter, it's possible to care less just really hard. I mean, seriously, get good presenters. Some of these people are fantastic, and you wind up taking a class that you're like, I could care less about this class. I just can't imagine how. And it turns out to be absolutely wonderful. And then there's some presenters who are just, oh, please, just shoot me now. They are not particularly good at their jobs. Do I have this down there? Yeah, I know this isn't a great setup. What have we got? Let's go put you down there. No, we are not going to do tacticals. Oh, alright, good enough. The thing with Stowe focusing on Discovery, they focus on Discovery a lot for the new ships and the new equipment, and I can ignore that part very easily. The storyline has gone, from doing that little connection to Discovery to going over there. And while I'm not thrilled with the way this part wrapped up, I completely disagree with the storyline for subtle reasons. It's been decent writing. It's really hard to argue with it. WC, yeah, I've had the same presenter now, a guy called Bart Polson, on 2 segments of the program. And this is one of those guys who's like, ooh, statistical analysis, yeah, sexy, sexy. Because he's such a good speaker. And you really just want to go into that because he is so totally engaging. But the current presenter is not.
Yeah, this will end well.
Yeah, if somebody... I opened a whole bunch of boxes, not because I wanted the new ship. If I got it, I had a use for it, but I didn't need it for myself. And I wanted to put some decent stuff. Not the ship. But you know, if I got the ship, it's going for 1 point something billion. And I'm sure somebody would be willing to give me money for it. It doesn't have a trait that I want. There are very few traits that I want for $1.2 billion, or EC. I did get the La Sirena for myself, and I did get the jellyfish from everybody, and those are the 2 ships I've really wanted. I just don't watch Discovery. I watched seasons 1 and 2 because I promised DT I would. Much as I would have liked to lie and say, yeah, I watched it, and not actually watch it. He's my friend, and you don't lie to your friends. But I made sure he knew how unamused I was. I think what's been happening with Star Trek over the years is TOS, much as it had action in it, it had stronger plots, and more importantly, it had really good characterizations and a bunch of actors who worked together, and you began to sense a relationship, if not with the actors, at least with the characters. And that developed in TNG, absolutely in DS9, definitely not in Voyager, maybe a little bit in Enterprise, but there was the beginning of that really strong disconnect. Voyager and Enterprise began to have huge disconnects between characters and relationships. And the funny thing is, thank you, you can do that. TNG did it really, really well, where Picard was not a character you could embrace. And his development over the series arc into a character who was able to show his concern and passion and care for his family made it interesting. Please don't tell me we lost. There he is. Okay. Well, when I say Picard, I mean Picard as TNG, not Picard as Picard. Though I happen to like Picard. I know WC and I have had a disagreement about that, and I can totally understand, appreciate, and respect his position, and I don't disagree with it.
The Birmingham is ready for action.
Oh, Lord. It's right up with JR's shooting being part of a horrible dream. It's not how we do it. It's not how we write a story. I don't hate the song, but it's not an original song. It really doesn't seem to have a lot to do with it. You know, commission an original song. And I think after that, coming into the whole lens flare Star Trek, got into let's put action above characters and relationships. So the thing that made it interesting is suddenly gone. But Country Roads Take Me Home, WC. Have you seen Kingsman Golden Circle? We can make that song work. We can make it work in an action movie. Again, why does it work? It works because the character was well written, well acted, and you had genuine compassion for him and why he was doing what he was doing. And you don't get that in Disco. You don't get it in Enterprise. Weirdly enough, you get it in Lower Decks. I don't know why I disliked it so much to start. Maybe because I don't really enjoy the cartoons. Oh my god, Kingsman and Archer. I haven't seen that, but that's got to be great. Yeah, I've kind of fallen to Lower Decks. It took me a long time to get into it. But again, I promised somebody I was going to watch it, so I watched it.
Keep up the pressure.
You know, that would be awesome to have the actors from Lower Decks at the convention. I would love to hear them. Oh, by the way, folks, we were told we cannot have our panels because they are filled up with panels, which I don't believe, but okay, fine. Fine. They don't love us. They don't want us to do our panels. That's okay.
Twice.
It's not like we don't have a lot of stuff to do at the convention.
Well, Modron's on his way.
I wanted Enterprise to be good, Lava. I really wanted it to be good. Do I have purples? I only have one purple in my overflow. Chantel Dorian San Antonio. San Antonio, okay. Fine, I will go fix that at some point, but I'm not going to fix it right now, most likely. It's not my fault I have so many tunes to take care of. Okay, it's totally my fault. But some of these here, let's see. These new Delta recruits I've got, Kethba, Kethza, and Kethtra, once they get leveled up are going to go bye-bye. And that's going to make my life easier. Enterprise had potential. It had some really good characters. The Doctor. What is it with the Doctors? They make really interesting Doctor characters. And they just didn't do anything with it. Do we have Cyclic? Do we have anything with Tetrions here? We don't have any Tetrions. Okay, fine. Let's go grab somebody who's got Tetrions. Yeah, Dr. Phlox was awesome. And he was an interesting character with an interesting backstory. Oh, really? Robert Picardo was the other really interesting doctor. And DT and I were doing the Klingon karaoke, and he went to join them off to one side. He wasn't up on stage. And all of a sudden, he's in the crowd with us and kind of dancing a little bit while we're singing. And he walks up behind me, and I'm looking at him going, I know who you are, I think. Do I know you? And he's just smiling, going, anonymity. It's so good sometimes. I like Trip. I just like that he seemed to be a slightly different character. Not the more traditional, boring characters that we tend to see way too much of. I have junk again. Yeah, I don't need that. Here you go, Satra. Have some stuff. Okay, so Satra is only a green bridge officer. I can't get rid of her. I love her. She's awesome. I know. I wish we could level up our bridge officers from green to blue to purple to ultra rare. Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be fantastic if we could start doing that? Do I have some Tetrion weapons here? Plasma. Do I have anything else that's Tetrionish? Not to speak of. No. Okay, fine. We'll go find something to do. Linda Parks, they could have turned into a much better character, and they just left her at this surface level I can translate. I can translate, and I have some phobias. Seriously? DT, I'm sorry, WC, you really should write some shows because your explanations, you and what you said about Discovery would have made it 100 times better, and all you were doing basically is making some minor changes. All right. Oh, 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 ooh, 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 ooh. Remember I said I'm doing the happy dance? Today's episode is I'm doing the happy dance because Mom is definitely doing the happy dance. This is why Mom is doing the happy dance. Happy dance. I think I agree that they had great chemistry, but I didn't think she was a particularly well-written character. Admittedly, she did the best she could with it, but she wasn't a well-written character. So, go to your available tab. Scroll down. Scroll, 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 scroll. The Ally. All the Romulan ground missions are back, and they are replayable on a 20-hour cooldown. I don't know that she did, but the thing is, she actually was a better Vulcan than the other Vulcans. Gary Graham, who I like, was an angry Vulcan, which of course is kind of what it's not. And she was more the stoic and emotional Vulcan, which made it slightly harder to identify with it. I got to click on my nanovs. I get to go get water samples. Well, I think because of her stoicism, she actually worked really well with Trip, because he was not stoic. And you know what they say, opposites attract and all that stuff? In that case, it really worked nicely. Good thing I'm not in number 2. Number 2 has got a ton of the bugs. So if you want to do your dilithium even faster here, because honest to goodness, this thing is just a dilithium mine. Especially if you come down here and you do the Ally on the half-hour special, then you do the Ally for this and you do them at the same time. It's like 1,500 dilithium for 2.5 minutes. I haven't gotten to play this part of the game in, I think, 4 years. It disappeared from my system in 2017, and I was at the convention, and they said, oh no, it's still there, and I'm like, no, it's not. 4 years later, it's back. So one thing, though, is I think they may have brought it back because the only way to do Bond with Life with the sailback is to have this mission. I don't think T'Pol would ever get into a triangle. She's too logical. She would see the illogic in potentially pitting two people against each other for what is, well, excuse me ladies for saying this, but being selfish. I just know too many ladies who are of the opinion that it proves that two people want you. And the reality is it's just you need to have your ego stroked. That sounds like a very Vulcan song. Let's see, what are we at here? We're at 94. Let's go see if we can turn in these samples. I don't think this is the guy I want. Yay! And now we're done with that. And let's see what we've got in progress. Oops, there. So there's 720. That's 1,040 dilithium for what? 2 minutes? The only drawback is it's a 20-hour cooldown versus the 20-second cooldown up on staging area. I don't know if this is a good example anymore. It's not. I used to have roughly 10 times the Romulan marks that I did for everybody else because I would just sit down here on Saturdays with the 20-second cooldown and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Let's see which one we got. No, it's Wall Ruins. But hey, you know what? Wall Ruins, let's go do that one. because we need to do some ground Tetrion. Satra's got a Tetrion Prism. I've got a Tetrion something, I think. Now I've got a Tetrion something. Let's go shoot us some Romulans. Sorry, Tholians, not Romulans. We wouldn't shoot Romulans. We don't do that when anybody's looking. Satra? Satra, get your butt over here, dear. Let's see if my usual guys are hanging out up here. I haven't done this for so long because without having those little side missions, I get to do my scanners again. Oh, I'm so happy. Sorry. This is like when I went to Kennedy Space Center and my son was going, oh, it's embarrassing to be with you. It's like you're 13 years old all over again. Just nerding out. Yes. Yes, I am, sweetie. Let's see if I can get Satra back now. There she is. Come on, sweetie. Come on. I'm going to really have to shoot you. Right outside the transporter. Is that nice? No. That is not nice. Okay. Back to the Tholians. We got 7,000 damage. We can do the rest here. And the levitating wild animals. I had a family that always tried to out-embarrass each other in public. My mother included. And by the way, I don't think my son was actually that embarrassed. I think he was kind of like, my mom's a nerd. My mom's a nerd. Then again, so is he. I mean, he plays Warhammer for a living. Okay, technically he doesn't play it, but close enough. Fine. And Satra is just catching up to me now. I think all my run speed boosts should apply to her too. Yeah, I still have Satra on the payroll. I know. She can't run. She's a green. But she's been with me forever. So as I've said, you know, there's that part of me that wants us to be able to promote them, but how's this for another option? You get to take your bridge officers and turn them into captains in your own personal fleet. How to do that? How to figure out a way to take a character. Maybe I need to build a new account because I have nothing else to do in my spare time. Build an account solely dedicated to one toon. And then as I get new bridge officers, I can either get rid of them if they're really incompetent, or if they're really good, like Satra, turn them into a captain of their own, figure out a way to make sure the image is exactly the same, and work from there. I think that would be fun. Because, as I said, I have nothing but spare time on my hands these days. I'm actually relatively relieved that I've got some car issues and can't go home this weekend because the thought of driving for another 8 hours is, ugh. And we got our damage done there. Woohoo! How would you promote Bulmer? That is a good question. Yeah, you're right. Stone does need more Lower Decks content. I think with only 10 episodes and those only being half-hour long, the few Easter eggs we got and the duty officers would be about as much as we're going to get until they get into Season 2, which I think they've got coming out. But that's a good question. I think you'd have to get fairly creative in terms of playing Barbie, but people can do that. Mr. Dave, I'm not arguing with you. I won't even watch Discovery. Oh, that's right. We want to go to the other account. Hang on a sec here, guys. Switch over. Well, let's start with Gorny and see what we've got. Okay, let's start with Complicados and see what we've got. I take it we don't enjoy that character? Alright, so we have a Borg TFO, destroy Terran ships, and defeat Voth on the ground. It's not terribly difficult, but... Borg TFO... So the problem with this tune... Hi, Mr. Avarice. How are you doing? I am fine. Thank you for asking. Do we want to try taking this one into a Borg TFO? Sure, what the heck. Let's go for it. So last night, we were playing and we decided to do a random TFO because somebody needed fleet marks. That would be DT. So we took 4 of us together, 3 people with serious firepower, me, decent tank, and then picked up one guy at random, and it happened to be Kittimer Vortex. And we got in there and we all started laughing because we're thinking this poor guy gets into a pug with 4 complete unknowns, not realizing that on average the big guys were doing 300 DPS, and I could tank my way through something in decent DPS. And we go over, tactical's gone, this is gone, that's gone, Valdor's gone. It was just like boom, 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 boom. So I hope he had a good time with that. Because we sure did. WC, please tell me how brilliant that statement is and that you're aware of that. No, we had enough time because there's a couple of sections there where you have to wait for the Valdor to come back, and we were taking some decent damage. Go for it. What the heck? I hope they're going to be there. I doubt they're going to have a booth, but I'm hoping they're going to at least visit. Something Q mentioned a couple weeks ago suggests that they're going to be there, but since it's not an official Star Trek thing, maybe they're just going to be visiting? I don't know. We'll see. Wow, that's not tripping. Okay, let's see if we can get something else here. Cure found. Not my favorite one, but we'll try that one. Try that. Oh. Well, that would affect it. Here. And here. And here. Okay, we got 6 queued. You would think something's gonna trip. Right. What shall we do? Let's do a little space hardness. As I said, there's really not a ton of content in game for Lower Decks, just because so much of it The storylines were small. Maybe 15 minutes of the 27 minutes was storyline, and 12 minutes was making good Star Trek jokes. Sure, absolutely. Mr. Dave, I'm planning to go to a Reed Pop convention I think it's in December, that's also at McCormick Place, to get a taste of what, there we go, of what we think's going to happen for Vegas. No. Yeah, WC, that's the kind of stuff I do first thing in the morning, because by end of the day, my brain's just rotted. And I decided to take a few days off from doing Power BI. And I've been doing a very interesting class on, I don't know what you want to do. It's a personal discovery type class. Really, really interesting on decluttering your life and how to make yourself more efficient and thereby more promotable, which at my age probably isn't going to happen. Not that I'd ever say no to it. And by the way, to everyone who doesn't know this, Ed says hello. I talked to him on Saturdays, but last week, because of the holiday, I also talked to him on Monday. Cross your fingers, he will be back with us in the not-too-distant future. And I'll give you updates as I get permission. Oh, WC, I killed my car, so I'm going to be home this weekend. So, headphones are right here. I am going to get out the bicycle and go take a bike ride. But yeah, I'm home all weekend. Just let me know what works for you time-wise, and I will be around. And I will definitely say hi to Ed for everybody. Did we miss one? No. We missed one. Where is it? There it is. We were doing the new Klingon TFO, Remain Klingon. And while it's pretty easy, and if anybody wants to see the description of how to do it, Rasul posted one in chat. But I was noticing there's so much visual noise on it, sometimes it's really hard to see that you've been targeted and you've got the little reticle on you. At which point, playing with somebody who's got a headset on and can say, hey, you've been targeted, it's actually kind of convenient. Ed is fine, yes. Ed's got a lot of stuff going on, and temporarily is internet free. But yes, I chat with him. And because he's internet free, I also do something really weird, which is I write him letters. Because we can't chit-chat in person more than once or twice a week. So I figure this gives him something to do. He gets to go read books. I've been sending him American books. Hopefully he can understand them without being able to Google Translate them too much. The finances are a little expensive on it. A letter is $1.15 to mail a letter. And then sending the books is around $40, and I have to make sure the books are inexpensive because I don't want him to have to pay VAT on them. Because there's nothing meaner than sending a present to somebody. But until this last couple of months, the only thing Ed and I ever talked about was Star Trek Online. So all of a sudden, getting to write these letters has been a matter of, this is how I grew up, this is what my life is like here, this is my family, my weather, you know, what culture's like in the States. So it's been very interesting. Ooh. Do I have a Star Trek 6 poster? I don't think I do have a Star Trek 6 poster. I have a TNG photograph called First Family, which is a beautiful piece of photography. What the heck? Somebody's pushing that thing away and out of our frame here. He's not in Discord. Let's see, I'm trying to think here. If you've got him on messaging, do that. Otherwise, if you want, you can send me the message and I will forward it to him. If you send it as something I can print, I will actually print it and mail it to him. I promise I won't read it. But I think at the moment getting him mail and stuff like that is very helpful. Hey Lava, if you're in the States, there's a company called Great Frame Up that knows all about doing archival posters and stuff like that. They've done all my goods posters. They did my beautiful photograph from TNG. They've done a great job. Some of the more commercial ones like Michael's and things like that, you'd be really careful because sometimes they'll charge you for archival work, but it won't be archival quality. Did we miss something? We missed something. Oh, or did we? Nope. We missed it. There it is. Yeah, just a lot of real life stuff culminating in no internet. I keep crossing my fingers every time I talk to him. It's like, next week? Not yet. So, Lava, if I may ask, where do you live? What part of the world? You don't have to give me anything specific. Destroy Terran ships and defeat Vath on the ground. Ugh. Where are we at? We are at 6:46. We got time to go destroy some Terran ships. Who are we going to take, though? Let's go get Gorny. Yeah, right now, WC, I don't have the time or the money, and I still am going. Courtesy of everybody out there who donated, we had just enough money that we raised between the sale of the book and donations and stuff that came in through here to pay for the... We're going to do 2 tables this year. We couldn't justify spending the $6,000. No, Great Frame Up is local. That's the name of the company, and you might want to Google them. I'm in Indianapolis, and there's one maybe 2 miles from me. In Chicago, there's probably a dozen within 20 miles. It is a franchise, but you can find places like that. Pricing isn't inexpensive, but it's not crazy. Definitely don't do like Hobby Lobby or Michael's just because they don't specialize in it. I have a piece of artwork from the convention several years ago. I actually have several pieces, but it's a picture of the devs and 3 of our fleet admirals, and we got it autographed, and Max Gordonchek, he happened to be there, so he photobombed it, so we got him to sign it, and I got it printed and mounted and framed and sent off to DT as a present a couple of months ago. So the picture maybe cost me $15, and then the framing, because I bothered to get good framing, was $240. Do I think Walter Koenig will go to STLV this year? Yeah, I kind of think he will. He does tend to come, but he tends to come kind of last minute. So again, I think some of these people will show up as COVID becomes less of an issue. But remember, nobody got to go to a convention last year, and that's how a lot of these people make money. Oh, bummer. Well, call around, check to see people who actually know what they're doing, who specialize in framing. Like I said, the big brand names are just usually meh. Because I don't actually trust them. Maybe that's me. Yeah, no, don't go to Hobby Lobby. I don't know that they would know what archival is, even if they say they do. And for something that's valuable, you definitely want it taken care of. If WC is still around, a question for you, since you know quite a bit of this stuff. I've tended to put mine behind UV glass to protect it from sunlight, but it does kind of faintly blur the imaging, in my opinion, so you don't appreciate it as much, but it lasts longer. Your thoughts? Archival is acid-free materials. Most paper is made with acid, so if it's a piece of artwork is mounted to a backing that has this amount of acid in it from the processing, or if the mats have acid in them, it slowly deteriorates the quality of the actual piece itself. So archival is acid-free. The glues are acid-free, and they're meant to last. And what's really interesting is with the new stuff, it's also designed that you can take it apart. So let's say 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now, you realize that you need to change the frame or whatever. It's not glued in permanently and irretrievably. Okay, so I'm going to do one thing in just a moment here. Let me get these 10 ships. Come on, one more ship, guys. Just one more ship. That's all I need. One little teeny, teeny, tiny ship. I'm going to see if I can change something here. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to move here. And... boy, am I glad I noticed that. Something fell down. So we've got an issue with humidity here. It's been raining, so a lot of my hangers that are adhesive based, because I'm in an apartment, fell down during the humidity. So I don't know if you can see in the background here. Let's move the camera. See if I can see that there. So you can see I've put a picture down there on the ground. That is a picture of the cast of TNG, and it's autographed by everybody except Michael Dorn. The photograph itself was around $1,500. The mounting and putting it on an archival quality backing and matting was probably the same price. Yeah, I went all out. It is a good frame. It is great matting. I don't say that you have to drop that kind of money, but if you're going to do something that's archival quality, it's not going to be inexpensive. It's worth it. Your stuff's going to last a lot longer. Ooh, I don't want that. Let's fix that. That's better. Thank you for bringing up the topic. Okay, WC, bringing a piece of artwork that's now valued at basically what I make in a year on an airplane. Because I'm not going to ship it. Yeah, it's the cover of a book. It is, but the original artwork, or the original photographs were available. They did 250 that are numbered, and of those probably 20 are fully autographed, which makes them really, really, really expensive. So no, the thought of having to haul something that's that valuable on an airplane and then back to Chicago, you know what, next year it's going to be in Chicago. I think I can wait for April. Well, yeah, the convention's going to be in Chicago next year. I can wait till April. I've waited. That's 20 years old. But that's our... no. No chance of letting baggage handlers cover that one. Or UPS or anybody else. But yeah, I'd drive it out there. That would be fun. I had planned to drive out there this year. I hadn't planned to be living in Indianapolis this year. And the plan was to take 2 weeks to drive out, visit Harold in Alabama, visit a couple people in Oklahoma, go out and visit Mr. Dave on site. Take care, Mr. Dave. We'll talk to you soon. and then go pick up DT, pick up Borg King, and then go to the convention, and then travel back a different route. Well, I'm working. So I'm working, and a lot of my plans just didn't happen. Ooh. Okay, what have we got? Sphere of Influence. Do we think we can kill 60 Borg in 5 minutes? That's a good question. We can try. Probably not. Probably something we'll do at lunch today. So yeah, I really like that piece of art. Once Michael Dorn signs it, it will be, depending on how many have been re-released, hopefully none have, it will be the most valuable thing I own. Except maybe the house. It's scary that something that small has got that value. And yes, it's insured. Heck yeah, we're doing dinner in Vegas. We've already got a plan that we're going to do dinner in Vegas. You just have to decide on what night. So first night you're there, come find us. If you're coming to the premiere night, which I think is Tuesday night, and let's figure out what's a good time and go out and do something. We definitely want to hang with you. Okay, fine. As soon as you get there, come find us, and let's make some plans. It's our intention to get there on Sunday afternoon, Monday for hanging out, chilling, and knowing us, making sure we actually have all the equipment we need, because invariably we forget stuff. Yeah, let's coordinate that. And we'll go this way. Good, I need to get 2 zones here. There's only 2 zones left. Okay. Ta-ta, Mr. Dave. And as soon as I go kill a few Voth here, I too have to head out for work. Because it's Friday, woot woot. And I have to go get my car fixed. Yay! It's amazing how happy I can get from doing that one stupid little Romulan thing, but it's back. I get to play my favorite part of the game. Yay! Yeah, we're not going to get to kill 65 before I go to work, since we're now at 2. But it doesn't say I have to do them here. Where else do we have ground Voth, though? Ooh, Step Between Stars has got them. I could go do Step Between Stars. Obviously not here. Not this moment. Alright, we're going to capture this point, and then we're going to head off to work. No, I'm standing point blank and shooting this guy, and he's not falling down. WC, let me know what time would work for you to do a chat. And I will have my little butt someplace where we can sit down. Alright, we got that done. Yay. Let's get out of there. And we're going to beam up so we don't get shot when we beam in next time. Okay. Well, I will have Skype on, and it's on my phone now. Yep, and I'll probably be carless, but have bicycles, so we'll be out and having some fun. So, on behalf of the Darkmom Consortium, I want to thank everybody who joined us today. Let's go raid somebody. I do believe I saw Grumpy was on a little while ago. So let's go take a quick look here. This works better when I've actually got Twitch on. Yes, there we go. Oh, we got Grumpy and we got Alt Lexington. Well, Alt Lexington got us for 2 days in a row. Let's go hit Grumpy. All right, everyone. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Lava, good luck with that picture. If you've got any questions, feel free to shout. Happy to help you out. Take care, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Thank you very much for the raid. Let's get you a shout out. How y'all doing today? Red alert for the Darkmom Consortium. 1 second. Excuse me. Everybody who came in on the raid that's new here, welcome to the Meat Hall. I am the Grumpy Old Nord. Here in the Meat Hall, we mostly play Star Trek Online, though we do occasionally play other games, such as right now, where I'm playing Skyrim. But here in the Meat Hall, we mostly trek out, we geek out, we nerd out, we rock out, we jam out. We like to get our drink on. We also like to get our perv on, but shh, keep that on the down low. We don't talk about that much.